Despite its name suggesting otherwise, Dune II was a first. A real-time strategy game that sprang out of the box with almost every gameplay attribute and control system seen in every real-time strategy since. In direct lineage, it was the father of the globally successful Command & Conquer franchise. If you ever thought that war games were boring, be prepared to change your mind. Beneath an alien sun on a far-off planet, the elite troops of three rival houses are preparing to hurl themselves against each other in deadly combat. As if the situation on Dune was not bad enough, the Ordos, the Harkonnens and the Atreides have been battling it out over the valuable spice melange for years, and now you may pick which of these houses you wish to command. House Atreides are intelligent and noble. They have an unusual devotion to duty and are noted for their skills in diplomacy and tend not to strike the first blow. They are about to discover that turning the other cheek only gets you a broken jaw. House of Ordos are noted for their trading and merchandising skills. The ruling princess of this clan have little conscience and gain their power through subtle and underhand moves involving sabotage and terrorism. Only their great wealth has protected their reputation being smeared by the long history of trickery and deception. Basically, this one is a race created for the game, the one no one really likes to use. And then there's House of Harkonnen, a dynasty of cruel people, led by a ruthless princess. Promotion is not awarded in the Harkonnen society, it is taken. If a subordinate kills his superior, then he assumes that position and is respected for his action. This house does not appear to be attempting to win the contract by simply harvesting more spice than the others. They have decided to annihilate the opposition. Apart from the obvious link of the title, Dune 2's got nothing to do with the original Dune game, which was an adventure sort of affair. This time, it's kick-ass wargame action and face-stomping all the way, with the only let-up in killing and dying being a spot of heavy construction. The game splits into two parts, and it's important to work out whether it's successful combat or spice harvesting that's required to complete the level. These two parts are connected by the fact that spice is money, and money's required to build both installations and weapons. So if you spend all your spice reserves on tanks when you should have been harvesting the stuff, you'll soon find you need to have a rethink with regards to resource management. At the start of each game, you've got a building site protected by a small force, surrounded by an expanse of uncharted desert. This area remains black until you send troops to investigate, which is vital as you've got to discover spice fields as well as your enemies' positions. To get your base up and running, you've first got to build a wind generator for power, and then a spice processing plant. At this point, a roving harvester will be flown in, and you can send it off to the nearest spice outcrop. Right about this stage in most scenarios, you come into conflict with one or both of the enemy houses, and you get down to the serious business of killing people. In later levels, you have the choice of using huge battle tanks and missiles, but in the first few, it's a desperate struggle between small groups of infantry and armoured cars. Combat, like everything else in the game, is controlled using the mouse, and is as simple as clicking on a unit, clicking on a command, attack, retreat, move or guard, and then clicking on the given area that you want it to attack, retreat to, or guard. The unit then responds with a cheery and particularly well sampled, acknowledged, and will carry on doing whatever you told them to do until you tell them otherwise. Overriding the order mode is an automatic self-preservation mode, so if a unit is being attacked, it'll fight back without being told to, and retreat when the odds get too great. This is vital, as once the battle swings into top gear, there's far too much happening to bother about the infantry units who just can't hack it. With damaged units lurching about, pouring smoke, and destroyed infantry screaming with their dying breath before becoming crumpled corpses in the sand, fighting's hugely entertaining, but there's the base development and spice harvesting to cope with as well. 2 or more processing plants are vital for most missions, especially when sandworms start emerging from out of the gritty deep and swallowing your harvesters. But what to build after that depends on you. Radar posts are good for surveying the battlefield. Silos are essential to store spice, and factories can churn out vehicles to replace battlefield losses. On later levels, you can add armoured towers and walls around your bases, and even buy roving construction sites from off-planet to set up several different bases. The planning involved is complicated further by each power plant being able to produce a finite amount of energy, and also by the appearance of missile weapons, which can trash a widespread area in one go. To counter these problems, you've got to spread out over a wide area and have lots of little independently powered sub-bases. The beauty of this game is that there is no one strategy which must be followed to conquer the opposition. You are free to replay levels continually until you devise a strategy which works. You could choose to scout the surrounding desert and find the enemy camp before they can build up their forces, then risk an early strike and hope to overwhelm them. Or you could hold back, bide your time, and wait until you have built up enough heavy weapons before you risk poking your nose out behind your fortifications. This is the game old-time wargamers would have died for. It has real-time action with intelligent troops. Place your forces strategically and then leave them to do the business while you are occupied in another corner of the battlefield. The pace is frantic once the balloon goes up, and the addictive gameplay makes it very difficult to hit that save game option and leave the battlefield until another day. With a game of this quality, it is difficult to find anything bad to say. I could mention that sometimes your vehicles refuse to move when ordered to the opposite side of a structure. Instead, you must lead them around the structure step by step, which can be quite annoying. Dune II is addictive. If Syndicate could be described as Populous 2 with guns, then Dune II is SimCity with heavy artillery. Dark, moody, atmospheric, addictive, brilliant. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button and let me know what you thought of Dune II in the comments section. Also, be sure to check out the video we did on the original adventure game of Dune, which I'll link now to the end screens. If you're enjoying the nostalgia and seeing these games again after all these years, then please do consider subscribing to the channel, as we'll be revisiting many more classic titles just like this. There's plenty more videos on the channel playlist and more coming up next. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Until then, thanks again, and bye for now.